most beautiful aspects of human life is the never-ending questioning about our existence. How did we get here? What is our goal? Why do I, a 23-year-old man, still get nervous on airplanes? These are questions that we've come closer and closer to answering, and it would seem that there's never one true answer. But even as we ponder these thought-provoking ideas, there is one question that until today has baffled scientists and historians alike. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? Oh, Dwayne. Oh, my little baby Dwayne. What have you done to deserve your current fate? Recently, The Rock has proven himself to be quite a controversial figure, and at the end of the day, you either love him or you hate him. But what I think we can all agree upon is the fact that the guy is just straight up confusing. As a young wee lad, The Rock moved around a lot, going from California to New Zealand to Charlotte to Connecticut to Honolulu to Nashville and to Pennsylvania. Why so much moving around? Well, I don't know. Maybe he's just chilling. Oh, sorry, did I say chillin'? I meant racking up multiple arrests for stealing and beating the shit out of people all before the age of 17. Yeah, now we're getting somewhere. But I can't just sit here and criticize The Rock based off of a simple skim of his Wikipedia. You know, that would be irresponsible. I would never do that. No. In order to really smell The Rock's cuisine, we need to dig deeper. Now, last time I did a video like this on James Corden, people got pretty upset about the fact that I was making fun of him and being rather nitpicky. And to that, I say, yeah. That's the point, doofus. So stop being an idiot and prepare your very easily influenced mind, because I'm about to change your perspective on The Rock forever. This question seems like it has a rather obvious answer, but you're wrong, okay? Why do you never listen to me? The truth is that The Rock has never spent enough time doing one single thing to warrant him being labeled under one profession. But it all started back in college when The Rock was drafted to play football for the University of Miami. With a dream of one day being in the NFL, The Rock actually spent 4 years on the team, actually at one point winning a national championship. But guys, that doesn't mean he was good, because he didn't get drafted in the NFL. In fact, they actually said, wow, this guy is so bad that we need to get him out of the fucking country. And so he was drafted to the Canadian football team, the Calgary Stampeders, which means not only was he playing fake football, but he also was sent to a fake country. And you know, this is sad for a couple of reasons. Number one, I just feel bad, but I can't help but think about the fact that if the NFL had actually drafted him, maybe we wouldn't have to deal with things like Young Rock, or Jumanji, or Jumanji 2, or Jumanji 3. To see just how much people didn't care about his football skills, though, here's a clip of him playing where the commentators just start talking about his much more famous dad.
And that was Dwayne Johnson, the junior defensive lineman, getting a paw on it.
Yeah. His son, his dad is Rocky Johnson, the famous professional wrestler, Rocky Johnson.
Fun fact, he actually got cut from the Calgary Stampeders about 2 months in, so wow, The Rock was really not cooking. No, they smelled what he was cooking, and it smelled awful. But what's worse than getting shitty bangs and an oddly placed piercing after a breakup? Turning to professional wrestling after getting cut from a fake football. I don't care, Canada is fake, no, shut the fuck. Since his grandpa and his father did professional wrestling in the past, he was actually regarded as the very first third-gen wrestler. To simplify that and put it in Pokemon terms, that means that his grandfather was Blastoise, his dad was Feraligatr, and he is Swampert. I don't really know how I came up with that, but it kind of makes sense. Needless to say, though, this is where The Rock really found his initial success, because who else do you know that can get an entire arena full of people to chant your famous catchphrase as you tongue fuck a microphone?
If you smell what The Rock.
All right, man, here you go. He's done for the night. Oh, okay, just the usual? No, he did something a little different this time. This one's got to go in the furnace. It feels to me that The Rock was most himself during this time. You know, he was fresh, he was new. And I have to give it to him. The guy really produced, some art in the WWE. Probably the craziest moment, though, was when they were doing one of those on-location fights, and The Rock literally throws Stone Cold Steve Austin off of a bridge.
The rattlesnake! Go to hell.
There's a plethora of highlights from his career, and I would say it's worth mentioning that he went down as one of the greatest WWE fighters in history. But the only reason I point out his WWE career is because it's necessary to understanding what it means to, and get ready, this is a great joke. Looking at this is necessary to understanding what it means to hit rock bottom. Oh! All right, folks. folks, let's talk movies. The Rock is quite the anomaly when it comes to film because it would seem that it brought him both his peak and his downfall. Have you seen that tweet where it's like post 2 photos of an actor in different roles to show their range and then it's just the fucking Rock? Well, it's funny because it's true. Dating back to even his earliest films, The Rock has a similar issue to James Corden in that they just play the same goddamn thing in every movie. A lot of people would make the case that because The Rock has such an animated and aggressive WWE personality, he's simply been typecast. And that is true. But he's also just super mid. One of his earliest films, Walking Tall, was clearly just some executive being like, okay, we gotta get a WWE star, and put him in a sick action film, and maybe he can break shit.
Guess that changes our relationship a bit, huh?
But if you skip forward like 10 years to Fast 5, it's kind of just the same thing. Crazy action sequence, WWE style quip line.
For my team, you son of a bitch.
In all honesty though, this type of content is pretty entertaining, but like, for 3 movies. And unfortunately, The Rock is cast in these corny action style movies again and again and again and again. To be entirely fair though, there are serious moments in those movies, and it's clear from those moments that The Rock genuinely wants to be taken seriously as an actor. But you have to understand that it is very difficult to be taken seriously when the movies that you're in consistently put you in the wildest and most unrealistic situations. Guys, let's be real. I'm talking about Fast and Furious. And there's so many good clips going around on Twitter right now, like, I just have to show you. In one of the movies, there's this scene where they're driving on ice to catch a missile, and The Rock gets out of the car while it's moving, slides on the ice at full speed, and manages to launch the missile into a moving car. But maybe the best one is this one scene where, once again, he's straddling a fucking car, but as this chain that's attached to a helicopter snaps, he grabs it and literally pulls the weight of a moving helicopter with an unrealistic amount of ease. If you then deliver a dramatic monologue about family 5 minutes later, then no, I will not cry. All this being said, regardless of the situations that he's put in, it's very clear that we're dealing with a lack of range here. Unless you're talking about his voice work in Fortnite, okay? No joshing around here, okay? That is a very highly decorated credit. There is some more lighthearted work he's done, like the Jumanji movies and Moana. I would say that Moana is probably his biggest departure from himself in terms of his one-note range, but the only reason I say that is because he sings, and it's fucking horrifying. But looking at a scroll through his IMDb just doesn't show anything different, you know what I mean? We can compare him to someone like Jason Momoa, you know, that's someone who gets typecast into big actiony burly roles, but he's not gonna play Aquaman the same way that he does Game of Thrones. But why do I bring up Jason Momoa specifically? Well, sure, there's plenty of other actors who can do the same things that he does, but who else do you know that can play Steve in Minecraft? Eat shit, bitch. So all in all, is The Rock a bad actor? Well, it's kind of hard to say. That's sort of his gimmick, right? Because for the most part, I don't think I would be alone in saying that most of the movies that he's in are just absolute dog shit. So because of that, it's hard to tell whether it's on him or the writers and filmmakers. With that in mind though, let's take a journey into the mind of The Rock. Maybe if we take a look at something so specific and unnecessary about his life, we can get a better idea of how he functions as a celebrity. Okay, so now I'm a doctor. You can probably tell by my clothing. I've just received a frightening document from a new patient here. His name is Cumrock. Cumrock, is that funny? Yeah, so today I'll be taking you through an educational breakdown of The Rock's daily diet, and if you're thinking about trying this at home, don't. I thought about it. It's definitely not possible. Oh, great, look at this title. You wouldn't last a day on The Rock's 6,000 calorie diet. Yeah, no, let's start off with the most important meal of the day, breakfast. He wakes up to a bowl of cream of rice or oatmeal. That's a whole bowl, by the way, and then alongside some buffalo and some eggs. What, some buffalo? I mean, come on, what am I supposed to do with that? I mean, yeah, how is buffalo even served? Like, how much buffalo? Regardless, this breakfast sounds absolutely miserable. I can't even think about an ounce of flavor you could get from that. But hey, maybe we can make up for it with second breakfast. Yeah, no, that's not a joke. After a good workout, The Rock crushes another bowl of rice or some other fast-acting carb and chicken. Holy shit. So that means so far today we've consumed 2 different animals and just a bunch of bowls of body mass, and it's not even new. And look, it may not sound like he's consuming like a ridiculous amount of food yet, but you really have to pay attention to the word usage here, okay? Some eggs, some buffalo, some chicken. Like some eggs, truly, like 1 egg is enough for me. We could be talking about 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. I'm not gonna get heated over the meat portion proportions again, though. I mean, truly, that is just terrifying to think about. I can't do it. For lunch, he's gonna have another bowl of rice, God, alongside some more chicken or buffalo and some greens on the side. You know, can you imagine the depression? I mean, not only does this diet stuff you so much that you basically become immobile, but there is absolutely no variety. Regardless of the lifestyle that you're living, this is just soul-sucking. Okay, well now prepare to shit yourself because we're getting wild and funky with dinner and beyond. The Rock will go on to have 2 or 3 more of these meals, and then before bed, he'll have more protein, carbs, and greens. Hey guys, which part of the diet would you end up in the hospital at? This article from Men's Health then goes on to describe The Rock's cheat meals, but if you do a little bit of reading, what it seems like is they just found a bunch of social media posts of him eating fun-looking food, and they were like, okay, let's speak for him. But what does all of this tell us? Gluttony, greed. The Rock wants it all. And through his career, he's found the means to get pretty much everything he wants. I mean, the guy's a goddamn superstar. But if there's one thing we know about The Rock today, it's that he wants one very special thing, and that is money. Mr. Johnson has been trending here and there recently, and I can't say it's for the best reasons. Of course, I have to throw us back to the massive uproar he caused when he started his YouTube channel. He was pretty much the first movie star celebrity to make his way onto the platform, and it was so soulless and overproduced and just not YouTube. And I feel like that move really shifted the platform. You know, it felt like an invasion of a medium that kind of threatened the spirit and originality of content creation. His first video, The YouTube Factory, featured a bunch of YouTubers like, oh, fuck, Lily Singh. And the message of it was so cringe and off-putting. It was basically Lily Singh taking The Rock through a YouTube factory, showing him the ropes, but how is that supposed to play with Lily Singh leading the tour? Awful choice. Overall, it was a really bad business move, and people just straight up refused to give it the time of day. In terms of movies, it felt like something happened during Moana that really made him snap, because the movies went from being bad to really fucking bad. Baywatch was utter garbage. I remember watching that and just being super upset the entire time for some reason. Then there was Jumanji, which, okay, honestly, the first one was kind of good. You know, I can't really bash it. But then he went on to do Rampage and Skyscraper, and these are the films that sort of start to make you think, what's going on here? Why is The Rock doing these awful big brand reboots with massive budgets in such a short amount of time? Well, guys, The Rock can be a man of the people all he wants, but it's abundantly clear that doing these movies made him a lot of money. And you know what? I don't entirely blame him, but why are you going from cash grabs when you're literally the 5th highest paid actor in the world? I guess it's not a huge deal, you know, everyone wants money, so why not make it? But these days, he's started to do things that people just do not want, and I'm mainly talking about his involvement with Black Adam. What was so odd about this whole process to me was the fact that he would relentlessly broadcast his involvement with the film on social media, and it was really smart because at first, from an outsider perspective, it seemed like he was just super excited to be a part of the process. But once news broke that he was essentially trying to center the DC universe around himself, constantly going over the heads of executives, people started to get a bit of a sour taste. On his film DC League of Super Pets, The Rock pretty much demanded to be a producer on the film, but when it actually came around to release time and it ended up sucking, he was just like, no, I don't wanna. At the Black Adam premiere, he requested a full bar to show off and sell his own brand of tequila, and that just kind of feels like eating your own asshole. But even after bringing in Henry Cavill for the post-credit scene, essentially shaking up the entire DC franchise, the movie still sucked, performed terribly in the box office, and ultimately caused The Rock to completely abandon the role. Coming from someone who supposedly puts so much love and passion into the projects that he works on, this situation was just entirely confusing. All in all, it would seem that The Rock lacks morals in a lot of departments, and with no true integrity to work off of, he kind of just feels like a fake person. He's like if a manila folder came to life, because he is blank, empty, and pretty much just regurgitates whatever narrative he's being paid to advocate for. A lot of what I've covered in this video could easily paint The Rock as a shady, villainous person, but I have to recognize the fact that business life and personal life are two very different things. That being said, I failed to find anything that actually frames The Rock as a bad person, and that's completely fine, you know? I don't think the point of this video was to just go in and completely destroy him. In 2006, he founded the Dwayne Johnson Rock Foundation, a charity working with at-risk and terminally ill children. He donated $25,000 to support Hurricane Harvey relief and $1 million to renovate the University of Miami's football field. And one time in 2015, he just said fuck it and donated $1,500 to a GoFundMe for an abandoned dog's surgery. There is something kind of weird that I found though, that I kind of want to bring to your attention. Johnson attended the 2000 Democratic National Convention as part of WWE's nonpartisan Smack Down Your Vote campaign, which aimed to influence young people to vote. And that's awesome, right? You know, what a cause, what a guy. He also had a speaking role at the 2000 Republican National Convention that same year. Well, I don't really know if it's fair to pass judgment on that. I just think it's kind of weird and goofy. And all of that is great, you know, but I still think the case could be made that it's very easy to hide behind philanthropy as a means to boost your public image. I don't know though, guys. I'm really torn because he seems like a really nice dude. There's this video of him meeting a crying fan in the street that I always like to make fun of, but still, if you look at what's actually happening, like, he's being super nice. There was also an article that came out where he recounts a time in his life where he felt like he was becoming a jerk, so he stopped, but like, that kind of sounds like something only a jerk would do. I don't know. Bottom line though, business aside, this and that aside, I don't think you can fully hate the guy. I think we forget oftentimes that people like this are simply just corporate products. Most of their professional decisions are influenced by people giving them lots of money, or in some unfortunate cases, higher ups just not having their best interest at heart. But yeah, guys, that's The Rock. I really tried to take more of a neutral standpoint with this one because, you know, there's a lot of nuance to this conversation. I know he's dealing with that whole Home Depot scandal kidnapping situation right now, but I did a lot more reading on that, and I don't think that a lot of what's going around is the case. But yeah, bottom line, he's never done anything objectively like illegal or wrong. I think really the Black Adam stuff was probably the peak of his weirdness, and he's still kind of coming off of that wave, you know? It feels like he moved right on from that venture to the whole live action Moana thing, which, oh my god, why? But yeah, there's not really much else to say about it. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and comment and subscribe, you know, do all that interaction stuff and make me feel good and solid. But anyway, that's all I have for you this time. But until next time, I highly advise you not to try the diet. Please don't try the diet. You saw how much rice that is. What was that? Whoa.